I don't know why, but some of these women know that I'm kind of without even me posting or saying anything. I've had a few people try to spin the block already.
Bro, well, I was gonna say this. I was gonna say, like, as your friend, it's obvious to me because I know.
Yeah.
But I would say that someone who doesn't know you probably could still bag it because you're posting more of your face.
Yeah.
Look at more traps out there. And it's like, you know, it wouldn't be
playing Yu-Gi-Oh on these girls.
Damn,
trap cards.
That's gotta bring them in, eh?
That's crazy.
You bust those cards out?
I don't even do that on purpose. It's just like,
no, but it's natural.
I'm going
like
outside today. Let me take a picture.
Yo, I'm telling you, like this dude broke up with his girl, and like none of them told me.
Yeah,
but I seen this dude posting mad workout videos, walking with his dog. I'm like, they're super broken up. Nothing gets a dude in better shape than a breakup.
Yeah, I've been on the grind lately. I can't even lie. I think it's a subconscious thing, man. I'm not a early morning workout person.
Yeah.
But the other day I got up at like 7 a.m. and I just said, fuck it, I'm going to LA Fitness.
Sick.
You thought you were The Rock.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna talk about The Rock very, very soon in this podcast. But yeah, bro, like you start getting more engaged physically. You know what I'm saying?
Have to. I think we could start right there. Like, I think this is as good a place as any.
Oh, for sure. Yes, you are now tuned into, you are now listening, you are now watching, you are now experiencing, because this is an experience, the Mayor's Office Podcast. And I'm your host, Ralph, a.k.a. the Mayor, a.k.a. the Last Airbender, a.k.a. Peso Poppy.
Hey! We gotta get a drop of me doing it.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it up one of these episodes.
Pick the best one and just make that a drop.
Tryouts.
Yo, yeah, it's your boy Adriel Smiley, aka AdrielSmiley.com, aka Adriel Smiley Official.
Big money.
Aka The Godfather. We're at a Kobe episode. You know, last time we're at our Jordan.
Yes, sir.
One of our Jordan at the Kobe. Honestly, this is like, it feels natural. Even though it's our first time doing this setup.
Yeah.
It feels kind of natural in a way.
We went back to how we kind of started with the podcast.
For the day ones.
Yeah, for the day one. So you guys, listeners, watchers, actually, you guys tell us how you feel about the new kind of setup. We're testing out new things. We're always trying to grow and develop. And the place that we grow and develop is very integral. We appreciate this place, these four walls that we come into to speak with you guys every other week. And these four walls belong to 1990 Studios. Introduce yourself to the people.
Chrissy in the cut here, 1990 Studios. Stacks Edwards here for another episode of the Mayor's Office. You guys like the new setup, eh?
I'm rocking with it.
I'm not used to everyone seeing my stomach. You know, I was like up here, I am like, you know, a 12 out of 10. I think once you include everything else, probably like a 9.5. But you know, I'm cool with that.
Yo, now we have to wear like proper fits before they just to see the top.
Yo,
man.
Now we gotta wear proper fits. Adriel came through with the whole Coogee sweater. I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Listen, I'm wearing these fits for all y'all who are listening to the pod to head on YouTube. If you want to see, you know, some great fashion, head to YouTube and watch the pod.
And the donation app is coming very soon. You know, one of my friends took it mad serious last episode when I said, yo, give us the money. We need e-transfers. He's like, yo, what's the email? And I'm like, damn. All right, I gotta put the donations up.
That's why we gotta like build a TikTok. Like on TikTok, those donations, they can get real.
Okay.
They can get real. So yeah, we're building up the TikTok just for that reason. So we can really kind of get our way up there.
There you go. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the podcast. But we're getting started. Guys, I had questions for you guys for today. I had so many things that went on through my mind. I saw some videos, right? On TikTok. There's this guy that I follow, a Straw Hat Goofy. Amazing with his reviews and talks about movies and shit. He got invited to the red carpet for Wakanda Forever. Okay. And he met Ryan Coogler. And Ryan Coogler...
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler recognized him. So it was like a dreams to reality moment for him. And like it was super dope. He's like this black kid. He's out of Compton and whatever. So it's like for somebody to kind of recognize him that he looks up to, that shit's dope. I feel like I might shed a tear if somebody that was my idol in that professional sense recognized me. So I don't know if that's something that you would do.
Well, when I saw this question, I wondered what made you think of it, and so it's good to hear the backstory. I have at one of my idols.
Oh shit,
Cabby, and that was a pretty cool moment. I didn't cry. I think that I wouldn't.
You're too manly to cry.
Definitely not. I think that I wouldn't cry just because I look at those moments as like that line that Drake says, like, you got to AI him for your survival. Like the goal isn't for you to just recognize me as like someone coming up. The goal is for us to become peers, and one day,
For sure.
So that's how I always look at anything or anyone who I look up to is like the goal is for one day for you to be like, oh, I remember when like they'll remember when they met me, so to speak.
Yeah.
As in now it's coming up. So
yeah, I feel like partial points to this is toxic masculinity. Like I'm not crying in front of another man. That's that's just what it is. But at the same time, I feel like when I do get to that point, like say I met someone that was on the level of Cabby for you in your life, I feel like when I get home after that day, I'm gonna be like, whoa,
emotional.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I just actually like met this person. But in the moment, I'm gonna put up a little bit of a mask for sure.
I think I'm not as much about putting up the mask. Like the physical tears maybe probably not gonna happen for me.
Yeah.
But like I met Marky Bass, who's a singer out of San Fran, who I've been a huge fan of like since he was in this band 15 years ago. And randomly I saw him in the Miami airport and I was fanboyed out. I was like, bro, I've been showing everyone your music since 2011, whatever. So I have no problem like fanning out and being like, yo, I rock with you dumb heavy. But the actual like tears and whatever, like it's still a person at the end of the day, you know? So it's like, it depends. It depends.
That's a good point. There's still a person. And I always thought about that in my life. Like, no matter who you look up to, no matter who you put up on a pedestal, at the end of the day, like they're still human. They still bleed blood. You know what I mean? So you can have idols, you can look up to people, but at the end of the day, the peer comment you made is really important. You gotta hold these people to a level of humility and standard because they're just people too. At the end of the day, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think too, like what I've learned at least from being in this industry, there's people who I know who are like people who I'm cool with in the industry. Like I rock with heavy, like I've seen them on street, like we're like friends.
Yeah.
But to someone else, they're like a god or who, like they love this rapper, love this producer. But to me, I'm like, yo, that's so and so. Like I know what they do, but that's just the homie to me. And so it's like seeing that perspective. I was like, it's not like I don't rate this rapper producer who I'm friends with, but I'm not looking at them like a god. But there are people who I may know. They're like, oh my god, you know so and so. And so you see the difference in levels of like how they view the person.
Yeah.
And it's like every person who you can think of as celebrity, someone views them like that. Where it's like there's someone who like Ryan Coogler is just whatever to them. They're like, oh, he's a dude from.
Yeah.
So every person who you rate heavy, there's a whole group of people who just like, they're just whoever.
It's funny, 2 years ago, no, not 2 years ago, right before pandemic, it was Caravana weekend. So I got a cabana at Cabana.
Yeah, okay.
So I got a cabana at Cabana, and I'm drinking, I'm having fun, whatever, and then this dude walks beside me, so I look over, and it's Eric Gordon, the basketball player, and I had no inhibitions. I'm like, yo, EG, what's good? And I just dapped him. And he just looked at me like, all right, cool, whatever. And then he just kept it moving. So like, I don't know, in the back of my head, like when I see somebody that's like on a level or whatever, it doesn't really affect me that much. But I'm a grown ass man, so we'll see.
I got a question for both of y'all. I'll go to Chris first. What's your biggest celebrity sighting? And not like concert or like something like that. Like you were at some event and they were also at that event, something like that. Like what's your number one celebrity sighting?
What if it was like at a concert that you didn't expect to see them at, and then like I saw them outside after? No, that's probably
okay. No, that could kind of count.
I like that.
Like I just saw I was at it was Bun B and Drake pulled up, and then we were outside after just smoking, and then like Drake came out the back door, and we're like,
okay. Yeah, it's hard to top Drake.
Yeah.
Ralph, you got something?
It's actually Drake as well.
Everyone see Drake?
Yeah. So maybe we should have made this a little tougher and be like outside
someone
of town.
Someone who's not Drake?
But yeah, I went to the Jay-Z's last concert that was in Scotiabank Arena.
444?
Yeah, so me and my boy C4, actually, he's been on the pod. Big shout outs to C4. We were getting up to our seats, and then we had to get by like Drake, and then it was like Drake and like 8 other security guards and shit. So Yeah, I'll say like close proximity sighting. It'll probably be him.
I was also at that 444 concert with our boy Omari. So
Okay.
shout out to Jay. I also have a Drake sighting, but I'll just take it left since we all seen Drake.
Yeah.
Skepta would be
Skepta.
Skepta's a good
mine.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Yes Jules?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when Yes Jules was at her peak. Peak Yes Jules, and she threw a party here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was at the party and Skepta was there
Yeah.
in like a full trackie in the summertime.
Damn.
And only when it got hot did he put it on his shoulders. I said,
real
this
top
dude
boy
is
shit.
I said he's not playing. He really lives this.
He's really repping the UK.
Yeah, so
Damn.
I'd say he's my celebrity sighting.
Okay. Don't worry. We will all be at some point somebody's celebrity
Mhm,
sighting. I
mhm.
make promises to you guys. We have a lot of plans for the podcast. We have a lot of things that we want to do, and we're gonna give it to the people. But one important thing that we need to talk about today, we didn't even plan for it. This is our 1 year anniversary. We've been podcasting for one
This is anniversary.
whole year.
That's
yeah.
pretty crazy.
I didn't even take it in because I was uploading the last episode, and then the first episode they gave me a notification saying the first episode was because it was the first upload I ever made on the page, and they said it's been a year since your first video. I was like, holy fuck,
That's
yo,
crazy.
we've been podcasting for a year, bro.
So as a new podcaster in the game, how do you feel that you've now done it for a full year? Because even 24 episodes is basically a year of episodes. I gotta be 26 if it was every single week. So you basically have been consistent this whole year. How do you feel now? You've crossed that threshold.
The consistency is big. Knowing that we've done this without fail constantly, and the fact that like we've been able to adjust. Like if you weren't feeling well, or if I was busy on a specific day that you were free, we always found time to adjust. So like the consistency and the commitment is super big. Me on a personal level, because this is my first podcast. For it to be an idea into like something fully formulated is super big, and I feel way more comfortable. Like I was listening back to episode 1, and I always felt like I'd be a good podcaster.
Yeah,
but like now I fully consider myself a podcaster. When we started, I didn't consider myself a podcaster, bro.
That makes sense.
And there was so many little things in cadence that still I need to work on, like talking over people or saying things at the right time and stuff like that. Stop saying stuff like that. Like, so different little things I've been trying to work on and grow, and I'm just happy because this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? This is something, it looks simple and it sounds simple to do, but this shit is not simple.
It's not. It's not.
Me and Adriel went through a lot just for this podcast to even get to the point that you guys are
forget
seeing
about like even the first episodes. Like the first episodes were like a lot went into those first. I would say like less goes into them now because we've like grown and changed.
1990 Studios.
But those first episodes, it was like a war.
It was a battle, bro. It was a battle. We went, this is what, our third location potting. We went back and forth so many times on where to pod. Like we're going to do it at my house at one point. We said, nah, forget that. We don't want random niggas in my yard. So we went to different studios and shit. So yeah, it's good to see that this is fully realized. And I feel like, knock on wood, wherever it is, that we found a home and we're gonna be consistent here. And
100%.
yeah, so that's a big shout outs to and testament to you as well, Chris, to make life easier for us and be consistent. Because even Adriel's other projects, he's been working with Chris a lot. Been working in 1990 Studios a lot. So I attribute a lot of that to you as well.
Oh man, no, it's all you guys are just like workhorses. Like, you know, you putting it in every week. And I feel like if you didn't have those like tough times starting out the podcast, you wouldn't like. It would just be like you wouldn't appreciate where you are now and how far you've come. You know, you can look back now and be like, you know, like obviously, you know, you got better at speaking. Like, you know, when to excuse me, when to slide in there, when to like kind of pull back, because like it really is like there's a little dance that goes on. It's like not like you're trying to be overly performative, because I think at the end of the day, the best podcasts are the ones where you're there yourself. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, like I was listening back now that I started doing these interviews, I banged out 4 of them and editing them. I'm like, fuck, why did I say that? Why did I say this?
The editing's where you get caught.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need to relive this moment. Let me just put it up. Like, but you know, so I think it's like you appreciate your growth. And I feel like so many podcasts and anything, not even a podcast, people like start something and they get discouraged. They don't see this, they don't see that. Like if you're genuinely appreciating it, you're going to appreciate the ride. And at the end of the day, life's the ride anyway. So it's like, you're not trying to, the goal, everyone has a goal, but you want to like really enjoy the journey and
enjoy the
you
Yeah.
know?
I think before we got on to talk about projects being postponed, before we get onto that, I think that the main thing that I remember is like how serious we were from the beginning. And like, even though I always told you like you were like downplaying yourself too much,
Yeah.
and you got to treat yourself like you belong. I feel like in the beginning, like how hard that was, you were still down to do all that work,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so obviously this being less hard, it's not.
Makes life easy.
But it's like it's not like you were like, oh, I'm only gonna podcast if it's this easy.
Yeah.
Like how hard it was at the beginning. That was not like deterring you.
Yeah.
You were still talking about doing 50 episodes, 100 episodes,
100%.
even if we were gonna do them all that way. Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, like it kind of makes sense that you've made it to a year without even noticing, because you're in your mind that how hard it was before and everything you went through wasn't like enough to be like, I think we should,
Yeah,
you were
bro.
just all trying to find solutions. That's it. You're like a solution finder.
Yeah, that's a good point. And there's been countless times that I call Adriel, like, and Adriel's probably fucking busy. He sees my number pop up, like, fuck this nigga, bro. But I'll call
Never.
Adriel and be like, yo, bro, like, I think we should try this. What do you think of this? Or I'll send you a voice note. Or
Yeah.
I'll send, and another big thing you brought up is people out there, trust me, do not get discouraged, bro. When you start seeing 10 views, 12 views, fuck it. Just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Put your head down. Because I saw that shit the first few episodes, man. And I was like, fuck, man. It was like I think it was like episode 4. We posted episode 4. Audio quality was meh.
Oh, yeah.
Only my friends were really listening.
Mhm.
And then I saw the views and I'm like, the views are kind of ass, bro. Like, what are we doing? Putting up this money for this. And I'm just like, fuck it. And then now I'm kind of seeing like,
The growth.
yeah, every few episodes I see like a growth in numbers. We're not doing 10,000, 100,000 views, but like I love to see the fact that it's growing. It just shows that people are listening. So I appreciate that for sure.
No, I think that's extremely important. And let's talk about having projects postponed. Before we even get into what happened with these guys over here,
Yeah.
I thought this was so funny. And Chris, as a producer, let me know how you feel that Drake said that 40 has COVID and couldn't mix the album. That's why the album is late. What kind of operation they have going on where you can announce an album before it's mixed? That's all I want to know. What kind of operation do they have going on where they shot this video announcing the project
That's crazy.
that is not mixed?
That's crazy. So the tracks are done, just the album hasn't been mixed yet. And the one man that has the keys to the vault is sick. Is that what I'm getting at?
People are saying that 40 should still be able to mix it because he has COVID. He's not going nowhere. He can just mix it inside.
Isn't 40 sick?
Yeah, he has MS.
Yeah.
So he's high risk if he gets COVID.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there's nobody he trusts to just hand over the project to?
Listen, honestly, I don't really get shook when someone postpones something.
Yeah.
This kind of puts some alarms in my head because I'm like, why is this not mixed already? When you guys are announcing late to begin with.
This is all a lie, and Drake was trying to avoid West Side Gun's release. Bro. That's the theory. That's the theory in my head right now. Division released, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to dodge these guys.
I think he's probably more dodging Taylor Swift, but I get what you're
Taylor
saying.
Swift dropped today?
No, she dropped last week.
1.5 million or something.
God
Yeah.
damn.
She's probably gonna be number one.
her
the next
fans
week
ride
too.
for her, bro.
And they sold a shit ton of hard copies.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
she's gonna be number one for a few weeks. I think this week she's gonna be number one again. Who's gonna Division, West Side?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Fuck, dog.
It's just crazy when you think about it because I'm like, I'm not the person to listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just makes me realize, I'm like, damn, there's so many other people that kind of like this stuff. And I guess I get it. It's pretty palatable. Like, it's easy listen. I'd
is
call it
easy
easy listening. Like,
yeah.
it's like, it's
I
just,
get it, but to have it be
it's
like
no
your
texture.
love, like I don't like a 1-2 in the shuffle. We
Mm.
can get down. You know, I like a mix of music.
Yeah.
But like I was with a girl one time who she was like, "Hey Google, play Taylor Swift." That is a whole different. You know what I mean? Like that's very different. Just
Yeah.
add it in the playlist. We could mix it. That's fine.
I think that's the only time I've really encountered like Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, like that type of energy of music. When I go out to like parties or that are casual, like I go to a bar and then you constantly hear it, or you go to Sport Check or fucking H&M and constantly hearing the song. So now I know the song regularly, right? So that's the only time I'm really engaged. To have somebody like call out, yo, I want this specific Taylor Swift song on this album, I've never encountered that before.
Yeah, we're in a different part of kind of the history of music and the internet where there's no one thing that we all are into. You know, like when Taylor Swift's album dropped, I only found out when it dropped. I didn't hear no single. I didn't know nothing was coming.
Which is a good thing.
There's no promo, but she promoted it to people. Like I'm saying, like her fans were aware. So it's crazy that this can be the best-selling album that we've had in years, and she's promoting it and on the internet, and somehow I didn't see it. But that's what the internet is now, where it's like you see what you're supposed to see, what it's for you, and there's a whole other side of the internet where you could like not be aware of it, not at all. So I feel like that's where I asked this question to Chris last week, so I'm gonna move it to you. For the Drake 21 Savage, do you think it's gonna be better than the Drake and Future?
Wait, hold on. So you guys met again without me?
Yeah, we did. We started another podcast.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
The Rory and Mal podcast, eh?
Governor's office.
Oh man. So wait, what was your question before I got emotional?
Yeah, we want to see that friggin' accounting, Ralph.
Yeah.
Let me see your damn Excel.
I have one Excel sheet. Yeah.
Man says he
it just says debts. Debts.
Drake 21 Savage will be better than the Drake and Future.
That's a great question. I'm gonna answer that with a simple I hope so. But I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, like I feel like there was so many hits on the What a Time to Be Alive.
Yeah.
And I'm so hesitant because of everything that's been going on. Like when you push back projects, when you like announce projects very, very close to release, it makes me worrisome in a sense. But what I will say, I like Drake and 21 as a combination more than Drake and Future.
I agree
in
with
my
that.
opinion.
I ultimately went with I think it will be better, even though I like What a Time a lot. I think What a Time is just very much a project of the time, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But as well, is very much a future project. It's very much a future project. And I feel like this one will be more of a mix because 21 doesn't really impose his sound on people.
No.
He's not the
good
type.
feature, he's good B.
Yeah. So I feel like this one will be more of a mix of sounds instead of the last one was like a future project with some Drake features.
If we get 3 really good 21 verses, which I don't doubt that we will.
We're getting 8.
I hope we do. Like 21's one of my honestly, he snuck into like my top 10 for sure.
Hey.
Yeah, so he definitely snuck into my personal top 10 to listen to. But if we get 3 to 5, how many tracks did they say the album is, or we don't know?
Don't know.
Okay, if we get 3 to 5 good 21 verses, like really good, it could be better than What a Time.
Yeah, I think it has that potential. And I think the main difference that this project has is they can get in a rap bag. Like we're gonna talk about West Side Gun in a second. They can get in a rap bag that Future and Drake just couldn't get into. Like I love Digital Dash. I love Live from the Gutter.
Yeah.
But Drake and Future can never do a Jimmy Cooks.
No.
They don't have that in them.
Yeah. That combination will give you more bars for sure.
Yeah. And it's like Drake and 21 could take Jimmy Cooks to even another level. That's not the highest bar for them. So if we get that type of raps.
Yeah. I feel like I was just thinking about it as you were talking about it. I think with with Future's beats, like the ones that he goes on, they're a lot more like full with all these different kind of sounds in them. But like a good 21 track like is pretty minimal. And I feel like with Drake's voice, like his voice, his tone, to me at least, I feel like he has like killer tone. Like it cuts through everything. So if they have like those knife talk, like even think about like the beat "Don't Stop," like that. Like it's just that minimal beat, let it ride, a real good loop, and like let it ride, and like have his voice cut through. Like him and 21 could go back and forth nice on something like that.
Yeah. I think they mesh a little bit better for sure. I don't think there's gonna be as many club hits, like club bangers on it as compared to What a Time.
Yeah.
Because Future, as you said, his beats are fuller, so like it just bangs off like in cars and events and shit. But I think for like a hip hop head, this is gonna be a better album for the hip hop head.
Yeah. My question is how do you think some of those hits aged? I've been thinking about this a lot with like all the new music coming out. Like SZA has new music out, Rihanna has new music out.
Yeah.
And like in the moment we're so hyped. Like new music, we're so hyped. Like and how these songs age. 'Cause I think Jumpman and Big Rings both did not age well.
Oh,
no. Big Rings definitely didn't.
And those were two of the biggest driving songs of like the success of that. And so I feel like if there's gonna be a hit from this Drake 21, it probably will age better than Jumpman.
That's
or
actually
Big
a good
Rings.
point because they played Big Rings when Golden State just got their
Yeah.
and I was not fucking with
Yeah,
it.
because you hadn't heard it in a minute too. You're just like,
Yeah, it just did not age well to
It's
me.
not a good song.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good song, but in the moment, it was
In the moment.
was dope. Like in the mid of the album,
mhm.
it was all right to me.
I didn't think so. I never liked it. No,
You're a visionary.
no, we got some really big rings. Like I just like, I don't know. Just
It's a skip. No, it was always like
it's a skip.
that's the thing, and I think too, like those songs not aging as well, because the songs that do age, the B-sides of that project, like Plastic Bag, Change Locations, Diamonds Dancing, songs like that.
Diamonds Dancing. Yeah,
I feel like with Future is such a like hit-driven artist.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's like his B-sides aging helps, but he has so much of these like club bangers that he's Future's never performing Plastic Bag. But Future might still do Big Rings. He might still do Jumpman, which you probably don't want to hear, but it's like he'll never add Change Locations to his set.
This album's gonna have way better B-side tracks for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like the B-sides in a lot of these on those type of albums too. There's a lot of like I think we could all name a bunch of songs that we really like at the time, like at certain moments in our life, and you're like, yo, this is like the sickest track, like you're playing it on repeat. And like you ever listen to like I can't think of one off the top of my head, but like,
Forever Young with Jay, that's one of them.
yeah, like you go back to it and you're like, I I remember certain songs like I just like vibing out in the car, like I'd always play, and like I'm like I would never play that.
I honestly, this is like, I shouldn't say this because I'm really excited to see this movie, but I think this new Rihanna song, Lift Me Up, is like that. I think that this is just so hype because it's Rihanna, it's around Wakanda Forever. Like
we haven't had Rihanna.
If you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. So it's like, I think we're just so excited to hear from her. But Rihanna doesn't usually make this type of music. And the last time she was close to this, I think to me, was 4 or 5 Seconds with Ye. And that's a song that like no one really plays after the fact. Like in the moment, it was huge because it was Rihanna, Kanye, and Paul McCartney. Yeah. But I don't know.
The song wasn't good to me.
Yeah. So I feel like this song is better, and I think her vocals are really good. I think it's a better song. But I just can't picture you putting this in your Rihanna playlist and then bumping this right after you bump Rude Boy. There's just no way you're gonna do that. So I think this song, even though it's only been 2 days,
I haven't heard it yet.
You haven't heard the Rihanna song yet?
No, not yet. I wasn't like super like tapped in like everybody was like, yo, Rihanna's dropping 2 records, because I just felt like they're gonna be 2 throwaway records for the album.
It's one record and the instrumental. She dropped the instrumental, which I think is I don't know who needs that, but it's very much like motivational.
Also, it's only one like song.
Yeah, one song. It's like motivational Disney type record. Oh, like Lion King soundtrack type vibes.
Keep that, bro.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it when I watch the movie.
So I'm just waiting for the scene it comes in. That's gonna be the moment. But it's like a song that you think a movie they would give to like Jennifer Hudson or something.
So these niggas made it seem like Rihanna was dropping a record.
A record, yeah.
But at the same time, it's for a soundtrack for a Marvel movie. She's not gonna drop Umbrella for Black Panther 2.
One of my friends thought she was dropping an album, and I'm like, this is, and it's funny because everyone is posting this Rihanna song at the hype. I know you've seen it too. Everyone posting on their stories.
I've seen one too.
And I'm like, this is how she's got us. Because this is not no real Rihanna song. And when you hear the song, you'll know what I'm talking about. She don't make no music like this. This is not in her...
Outside of her bag?
So outside of her bag. Obviously, it's still a good job. It's Rihanna. But like this would not be on a Rihanna album, So... Yeah, I just feel like they just...
You think she's just so big that it's like people just like... And she doesn't drop often anymore. So it's like people are just like so hyped the fact that she's like putting something out there.
Yeah, she has her own like beehive. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, the Navy.
The Navy? That's what they'll call it?
Yeah, the Navy, yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know where it came. She was in like a Navy movie.
Oh, she's in Battleship.
Yeah, but I don't know where that came from.
That movie is garbage.
I haven't seen it. It's trash, eh?
Garbage.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I just think it's odd. I love Rihanna as much as the next man. Rihanna has been one of my celebrity crushes for a long time. But this hype, I think, is pretty crazy because you don't even post your friend's song like that. Like,
nah. Which friend are you talking about?
Anybody. Like anyone posting the Rihanna song.
Oh, you're talking about regular people. I thought you're talking about Rihanna not posting your friend's songs.
That's normies, dude.
You're talking about the regular folk, the common folk. Oh, okay, yeah. I see a lot of girls that won't. You know what's crazy? Not even just women. Like, I see a lot of people in general that will post for celebrities, but they will not post for their brethren.
Makes no sense.
I don't get it. Like,
they don't need your post.
They'll never. Lil Baby will never see you, bro. Never. Yo, 4PF. Yo, nah, bro. He doesn't care about you like that.
And the worst part is when someone posts a song that is not no gem. Like they're posting "Hot in Here" by Nelly, and I'm like, okay, like we all know this song. I need to post this, like
Yeah.
you know, like waste.
Yeah, I feel like some people post it so they like want to show people like this is what I'm listening to. Like this is how cool I. You know what I mean? Like it's
post
almost
my-
like it's a look.
I post songs, but I
Yeah.
will always repost if my friend is putting in time and effort into the record.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repost. Like,
Always.
like I know for a fact there's 3 people I always post. I always post Witness.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Witness. I always post Che 9. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Che 9, and I always post Gifted.
Yeah.
Like those 3, like if I can see an Evian Rivers, if I can see you guys are posting, then I'm gonna fucking do my part too, bro.
Mhm.
It takes 2 seconds to post your friend's project.
And why are you like this other thing too? I think we got the internet all wrong. Like everything on the internet lasts like forever, technically, yes.
Yeah.
But in reality lasts for like a day.
Yeah.
You know? You're not gonna remember the story you had last Tuesday and be like, my story was just so inconsistent. Because
Yeah.
like that's not what's happening. You know, like we see it for a day, give someone the eyeballs. It's a throwback to your conversation that we had, like, I don't know, episode 8, talking about how to slide into
Episode 8.
how to slide into DMs. That
People are gonna go in the backlogs and be like, "Yo, Rolf,
let's
you,
get those-
you dirty demo,
Yeah.
you dirty dog."
you demon. Like the slide into the DMs through the music story though, I think is undefeated.
Mm.
Like, you know, if I see a girl post Sade on her story, you're gonna find me in those DMs. Like automatically. So I think they do have some value, I'm sure, but
yeah,
you post your friends too.
yeah,
That's what I mean.
100%.
She's posting it for a reason. So maybe she like wants like someone like you to be like, oh, you like Sade too? Like, you know?
Yeah, there you go. And if the conversation doesn't work, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Match the energy.
And always test drive the whip.
That said, always test drive the whip.
Holy.
Oh no, you're right. Always test drive the whip.
Facts.
Yeah, I didn't know about this project here, the new West Side Gun, Hitler Was Hermes 10.
Yeah.
I didn't know it came out until you posted it in the chat.
Last night, I had a solo night to myself.
Mhm.
They canceled my shift at Joey's, and I just wanted to chill out. So just me, Layla. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let me watch Bullet Train or whatever.
Mhm.
I haven't watched it yet. So then I went to the dispensary, and on my way to the dispensary and back, I was like, yo, what the fuck? West Side dropped. I went on Spotify.
Yeah.
I was listening to it. Yo, it was kind of hard.
Nah, it's good. It's good. West Side is consistent though. I feel like he doesn't put out any bad projects. My favorite
Yeah.
part of his projects is always his daughter going in on people.
Yeah.
She's like the MVP of every project.
He has good intros into his records, and he has good skits. His skits are really good. And yo, the man's ad-lib game is on point, bro.
Do, 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 do. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
That was good. That was good. Nah, I feel like West Side Gun is really he's the kind of rapper that I feel like either you're well aware and you know, or you're just like, I don't know one West Side Gun song.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not really an in-between. Because he doesn't do features as much on other people's stuff.
No,
You
but
know,
he has
but
for
he-
a lot of features.
But he
on
has
his
a
shit.
lot of features.
Yeah.
And this project has some features that I feel like the younger crowd might not be hip to. Like
He got Black Star that came out. That track was fucking hard.
Black Star. I was like, okay, I see you. Yeah, Black Star. I know he has Raekwon on it.
Yeah, Benny, of course. Stove God Cooks is on a couple tracks.
Yeah,
too.
Stove God is a demon.
Yeah, Stove God is different.
Listen,
bro.
Stove God, whenever you can travel,
Yeah, come to the Mirror's Office
yeah,
podcast, man.
you know where you got to be. Busta Rhymes.
Caught me off guard. for
Yeah,
sure.
I think this is something I do personally, but I think I'm gonna see if we can adopt it as a group.
Mhm.
Whenever I think of like a rapper, how good they are, or how talented they are,
Yeah.
I compare them to Busta Rhymes. Because Busta Rhymes is one of the best rappers.
2022?
For sure.
Okay.
He's one of the best rappers of all time. You look at his catalog, performance, lyrically, you know, he's had a lot of huge hits,
I can agree with
but
that.
no one puts Busta Rhymes in their top 10. But everyone would agree that he can really, really, really rap. And so when I think of people like now, if they can really rap, do they sound horrible next to Busta Rhymes? Then they can't really, really rap.
Mm.
Because I think Busta Rhymes is like, he's across the board a good rapper. I think no matter what era you come from or what style you rapping you do, not everyone could do what he does.
Yeah.
And so when I think of like, again, the Jids, the Sabas, whoever it is, those guys hang with Busta Rhymes. He wouldn't look at them and be like, y'all are horrible to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like the comparison I use if one of the new rappers could hang historically.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely, I can agree with that for sure. He's definitely like the, like the, I want to say the Ben Wallace of rap.
That's pretty, Benoit's pretty crazy. You gotta give him more than Benoit.
What? I'll give him more. I was gonna. You know what I was originally gonna say?
What?
I was originally gonna say Barkley.
Barkley was better.
You think Barkley's better because of the generational gap?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to do someone a little more recent because we have the younger viewers.
Yeah, Barkley's on TV though, so
yeah.
they see it.
Yeah, there you go. And everybody respects Barkley, but Barkley never got the recognition because he never got to the super pinnacle. So, all right, I'll give Busta Rhymes. I think he's the Charles Barkley.
Listen,
of rap,
leading scorer on the best team of all time,
MVP.
Charles Barkley.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, so I just want to give Busta Rhymes a quick shout out because I feel like he doesn't get his just due, and he's one of those rappers who it's like he definitely can hang with everyone rap wise.
Yeah,
but no one is naming Busta Rhymes in their top 10, top 5.
No,
I've never heard that.
Definitely not.
And I think skill wise, you can make a case. So.
You think it's his style of rap too? Because he's very just like the way he's like.
His style of rap was influential at its time, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little tough. Like now, obviously, the new generation can't listen back on Busta Rhymes tracks and be like, "Yo, this is fly. I'm fucking with it."
Like the way I would say, like compared to like the way Busta flows compared to like a Jay-Z, like very different. Like Busta's very quick and just like fitting in all these words in a lot of cases, maybe, but.
I think it's kind of how we aged.
Yeah.
I feel like if you look at the early 2000s when Busta had like what's that song? I love my baby yet. Yeah, I love my chick.
Yeah.
Songs like that. Touch it.
Big,
he still had good albums and like hit songs.
Yeah.
But I feel like he wasn't considered as lyrical in that era. Like he was lyrical for that era because that was like the trap snap era.
Yeah.
But his music wasn't along that. He wasn't making like Mobb Deep type music, Like he was making more like kind of generic rap music, but he was just rapping well.
And you have to compare him to his contemporaries, like people like around his era. I know he's a little bit older than like Eminem, but like when he got in his peak, it was like Jay-Z times Eminem times, not like close to Nas times. Like these guys showed so much longevity. Eminem was making albums after the 2010s. Jay-Z, like one of the greatest longevities ever. Nas is hitting Grammys at the quote unquote end of his career. So Bus after 2010, he kind of like dropped off a little bit. I think he got signed to Cash Money around those times. Yeah, around those times is like when the beginning of the drop off came for him.
Because even like I think what you're saying is so right, but because even him making it that far, it's already kind of an accomplishment. Because you got to remember, he came in with Tribe, like he's early 90s, so even making it to the early 2000s is 10 years, for him. So it's like that he's like what I'm saying, he's viewed in a different way. So I don't know why that is, but like even making it to 03 for someone 10 years, that's like legendary status, even making it that far. You get what I'm saying? Because all these guys, like Jay was mid 90s, X was end of the 90s, but all the guys he's battling with, he has 3, 4, 5, 6 years on them where he should be a legacy act at that point.
Facts.
So it's almost like he was fighting for his spot.
Yeah.
Because he accomplished a lot in the 90s too. Like in the 90s, he was very accomplished, a big dog. But somehow it's like he reset when it came to the 2000s. And he was like battling for his spot again instead of him being like one of the elder statesmen who you're just happy you're still around.
It's because hip hop's still such a new thing for us to navigate. Like hip hop's so young, right? Every single generation is experiencing so much of a different growth, right? Busta Rhymes came out so long ago that it's like now he has to retailer himself in the next generation and retailer himself every decade. It's tough because there's no precedent for that. Like who before him was able to have to have the need to tailor themselves every 10 years. Now we're seeing it more. That's why Jay-Z is such a fucking anomaly because nobody set that path out for a man to be rapping for fucking 30 years.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? But now there's going to be another Jay-Z. It's just what it is, bro. It's like Reggie Miller. Like we're all like, yo, Reggie Miller is nobody can shoot like Reggie. Reggie's hitting all these threes, but now the game changed.
You made a great point. I think about someone like Kanye and I'm like, if you compare Kanye and J. Cole to every other of Jay-Z's like proteges, even Bleak had his moment. But Bleak's moment is like what, 1/10 of Kanye's career or whatever of J. Cole's career. And so you're right, it's like there's no template because even at the time when those things are happening, our definition of success is different. Kanye's first album is like enough for us to be like, oh, Jay-Z's done a great job. Like, he's killing it. To think that now, all these years later, there's people under Kanye who are, now influencing other people. At that time, you wouldn't have said, if Jay-Z creates an artist who can create other artists, then he's done well. You never would have said that.
Yeah.
Because we
yeah,
mentioned
'cause we
Jid, who was like technically a grandson
of
of
Jay.
that regime, if you look at it through J. Cole. So what we looked at success then is so different, because right now I think that there is a bunch of guys in that group who like we look at them as less successful because we look at everything
Yeah.
different.
And I think because we have so much access to, and I've talked about this in the past, like we have so much access to streaming, so much access to new music, unreleased or whatever. Because of all of these avenues, like somebody's views, their streaming views, their YouTube views, and everything, it could be like blown up to a 10th degree. Like NBA YoungBoy gets millions of views, but maybe the quality of a song that he put out isn't on the level of a graduation album.
Yeah.
But because YouTube was kind of in his infancy when that dropped, we'll never view it like that. On like somebody will click Good Life with Good Life with T-Pain.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that will never get as much views as like the latest song on 21 Savage's album.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the gatekeepers too, like they change everything. Like it's when we say gatekeepers, because right now this nigga Kanye is getting dropped from everything. But it's like no, but it's like think about it this way. You said the quality from NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah,
the quality in his music. He is talented, but
he is 100%.
30, 25 years ago, exec would have been like, I don't know. There's like 12 rappers out right now who rap better than you. I don't know how we're gonna sell you. You know, it's like I don't know. Like, have you heard DMX? Like, I don't know if you can hang. But now he can put on the internet and let the people decide.
Yeah, I think it's partially too. Like, I think that's all true. And then it's like the era that you're in, the technology that's available. Like, you know, like a lot of the best music like fits like the mood or the temperature of like society in a sense at that time. You know, like it's like, you know, just like with NBA YoungBoy, like his stuff, he's got that very young sound. Like he's like, he comes off like kind of wild and just like out there. And I think like that's why a lot of the young kids like gravitate to him. And like the internet still being so young and there's such a young fan base on YouTube and everything, like it kind of sets like a different tone. And I feel like back in the day, like the younger generation, like obviously that was like a big catalyst, but you didn't have the same reach to like see things, be a part of things. Now you can be like a friggin' 14-year-old person in the middle of nowhere in the suburbs and you can like get on the internet and feel like you're like a part of the scene and you're like a part of hip hop but like back in the day, it's like you kind of gotta be physically there, like in the area.
And the streets is here now. Like we grew up in Scarborough. You know, in Scarborough, the dudes who was really doing stuff did not have no Facebook back in the day. Did not have no Instagram. That has changed.
Now the trappers are on TikTok.
Like, we're not that old, but
the trappers are on TikTok.
That's a crazy one. Like we're not that old, but that's really what's happening is like the dudes who are real criminals are on the internet.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the country. Like it's not like that was
the
on
internet,
the case before.
The posting on internet is actually like indicting a lot of these niggas like, with their own personal posts. It's crazy. Like I think Freddie Gibbs said it. I forget the exact line, but he's like Instagram's the new FBI or something.
Oh, something like crack agent Instagram?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and 100%. That's the thing is like, where is that coming from? That is like, it made so much sense. You could be like, okay, I know this dude's a real street dude. And it's like, oh, never seen him online? That adds up. He's stealing every day.
Like, well, there's no visual like back in the day, right? Like you'd be waiting for like a magazine to be like, oh, like this is kind of like, you know, now it's like every day, like an artist can like post their fit, post their, you know, post their look. They can post like when they're in the studio with their like people like doing their thing. Back in the day, it's like you're finding magazines. Like most of the time, you're just listening to the music. You're buying the CD and then you're like actually like just listening to it.
That's facts, yeah.
I think that's why Kanye's doing what he's doing. I think that like back in the day, if you had like a new music video, that was the only time or way someone could see a video of your face. Unless you did an interview, like that's the latest. Like say like you got a haircut, your artist who got a haircut or whatever. Yeah. This video with your haircut is the time everyone is seeing.
And that's only if you turn your TV on and go to a specific channel.
That's
at a certain time.
Yeah. If you miss the music video show at 6, 11 is when you're seeing the video next.
Yeah.
That is done with. And I think like you can get attention so quickly now, and there's so many different ways. And I feel like that's kind of what Kanye was doing in the past. However, was like, I'm gonna go here and make noise here. They're gonna notice me for this, notice me for that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I feel like, yeah, he's right in a sense of like he got the attention, but To what end? Like where are we standing on this whole
What
whole
side of the
Kanye
coin are we
thing?
on?
Yeah.
Bro, deep down, I do feel like someone at his position, you have to be a genius to get to the position he is.
Mhm.
And the title genius can be multiple things. Like growing up, they only taught us being a genius is being fucking book smart.
Mhm.
But then now we're starting to understand that being a genius could be a level
Creatively.
of a creative, yeah, an artist. You know what I mean? So I do feel a marketer. I do feel like he is a genius in not only his art, but also how he markets himself. So I personally feel like maybe he's doing some of this shit on purpose. He's going about it the wrong way, probably.
Yeah.
But outrage and that shit, it grows for viewership. Like
Yeah.
people love outrage marketing nowadays.
100%.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I think he is doing it a little bit on purpose. I saw someone said this online, and this is like what I've been thinking about this whole time. 3-4 years ago, Kanye said slavery was a choice, and no one dropped him. And he's saying what he's saying now,
yeah,
and getting dropped, which is kind of the point he was trying to make in that interview with Nori that got taken down. Is
Yeah.
like, if you say something anti-black, nothing's gonna happen to
he
you.
said the George Floyd thing before he said the Jewish thing,
and
nobody said anything.
Yeah.
and again,
Well, non-black, like people that weren't black and the brands, they weren't saying shit.
and that's the thing, is like the George Floyd thing to me is more hurtful than anything he said out of the rest, because George Floyd is what sparked everything that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that we're still fighting right now. So him even saying that in the same interview and how it was received is kind of proving the point. And then listen, on top of everything, I think that there's a level of acceptance for anti-black racism that we haven't addressed. I think about Justin Bieber and that video of him singing "One Less Lonely Nigga," and it's like, that's a real video of him. Like, when I show it to people now, they think it's like dubbed over, or they're like, "What is that from?" I'm like, "No,
yo, cut that shit off and put peaches on, nigga."
and it's like, they're like, that's probably that's before, right? And I'm like, that is mid-fame. This is after One Time, post Usher, And it's like, if you think about when everyone hated on Justin Bieber, that wasn't the reason. You see how accepted it is? Like, the reason was more like, he's drinking too much, he's doing drugs.
Because we have to be okay with people downing us, bro. That's the issue right now. And society pushes the fact that us as black people, we have to be okay when somebody's doing something wrong to us. They were in the wrong state of mind. They've grown, they learned. But if we talk about someone else or another group, then it's going to be pandemonium. At the same time, being from a position and a place of having to struggle and having to grind racially, we shouldn't be talking about other people. Like, you rarely find black people being like outwardly like racist or outwardly disrespectful to another minority. We never really do that. Maybe like everybody has like 1-2 little jokes with their friends and whatever, but those are jokes. Like, you'll never see it. I rarely have ever seen a black person in a position of power. This is the first time I've ever seen a black person just pushing hate speech. I've never seen that before. Because we're so like mindful of it because we deal with so much shit on the regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think with this Kanye thing, we gotta see how the dust settles and how, or if he can recover. I know I saw that story that he tried to go to Skechers and they kicked him out the building.
Bro, I feel like this is just a play for him, bro.
I think it's a play for him too, but I think there's real consequences here. And my question is how will that manifest? Because I think, listen, like I said before, Kanye said slavery was a choice. And this is before he was a billionaire, mind you that. We made him a billionaire after he said that.
Crazy.
So it's not as if, people can recover from whatever it is. But this, may be a whole different baggage to get into to recover. I just hope that this, as a people, we can treat anti-black racism differently going forward. That's kind of my takeaway from this. Kanye, God bless his soul, obviously he needs help. But I think that how we deal with anti-black racism is a whole different ballgame. I think about when Doja Cat was accused of being whatever word you want to use.
Nobody batted an eye when that Doja Cat
she's still
still popping.
Still went number one. And
she's probably bigger now than she was before that.
And my thing is, like, if you take the list of like topics or issues that you put ahead of anti-black racism, it's a long list. And that's why I bring up Justin Bieber, because Justin Bieber doing drugs and drinking too much How is that more of an issue than anti-black
I don't
racism?
even think, did he
Yeah.
come out with an apology after that? video?
No, you see. My point is like,
Crazy.
how can, as a culture, as a society, us of all colors, all of
Yeah.
us, we decide, oh, he's doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's worse than.
I think that's the
anti-blackism.
equivalent of when a black person does a crime and you look on like an American news
Mhm.
network and then they show like the worst
The
possible
worst
fucking
picture.
But then when a white kid does a crime, you're like,
Mhm.
oh, he was troubled.
Yeah.
Troubled youth.
Yeah, he was
Mhm.
troubled, and let's just get him to a psychiatrist and do all that. But a black person commits a crime, it's like fucking
Or-
pandemonium in the streets.
Or that era still exists where a black person got killed by the police and they would have a story be like, actually, he was failing.
Yeah,
Or-
he has 2 misdemeanors
Yeah.
from 7 years ago.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like that's the part that I think that Kanye, I appreciate him for bringing that to the light. But I think all the negative that he said kind of negates that. And it makes it maybe not the right messenger. 'Cause I think you're right. He's like the only person in this position that we've kind of ever had.
Yeah,
Obviously, Jay and Diddy are billionaires. Oprah's been in a lot of these rooms. But Kanye is in bed with the Republicans,
yeah,
in bed with the rich Republicans, which is what we've never seen any rich black person kind of be on. So, he's kind of bringing us information from this side that we just won't even go to.
yeah.
And the fact that he's, doing all this other stuff to go with
That's
it,
fucked up.
it hurts it.
On the other end too, he's out of a lot of deals, so I'm very interested to see where he takes some of these other branding options, like the easy
Mhm.
stuff, the slides, the shoes, the outfits, and everything like that. I'm really interested to see where he goes with that. And like the music's always gonna be the music, bro. The only
Mhm.
issue with the music is who's gonna do music with you. But like, I don't think he's outwardly alienated himself from the music scene because black artists, we typically don't
We don't
focus
care.
on non-black related social issues. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that's been the precedent. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So if Kanye is saying something about the Asian community or the
Mhm.
Jewish community, he's still gonna have a feature with 21 Savage at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the music's always gonna be there. So I'm interested to see what he does with like his other endeavors.
Mhm.
And I'm interested to see if this is real or not, bro.
What
'Cause-
what part of it do you mean is real?
If he's doing this for marketing or if he's like everything he's saying he truly means, or if there's like a deeper meaning behind this, or Kanye's just going off the fact that he's been called a genius so much.
Mhm.
So now it's like anything I say is genius level. You know what I mean? If someone keeps calling you smart and deep down inside you're not smart,
Yeah.
Eventually you're gonna believe
you're gonna believe, yo, I'm fucking smarter than these niggas, yo. You know what I mean?
You think he partially did it to, well, maybe, I don't, yeah. Do you think partially too is like to get away from these brands? Like maybe he wants to be fully independent
There's a
and
chance of
wants to
that.
do his own
That's
thing?
a theory. I didn't see this myself, but apparently he posted some images of one of his contracts, one with Adidas and someone else. And
Yeah.
apparently they were horrible contracts. And like when he posted it, everyone was like, "That's crazy. You shouldn't do that." And so they're like, "Oh well, he couldn't get out of it, and now he is out of it." To me, I just think that like I think there is something purposeful to it for sure. Like I do think he wants to get out of his contracts, but I think that it wasn't. I don't know if he'll get other contracts with this. If that makes any sense?
Yeah.
Because I think that it wasn't a coincidence that he was so tied down. Like I'm sure that other companies around Adidas knew what Adidas was doing
Mhm.
to keep him locked up. You know what I mean? Like, and he got that contract with Gap that was also apparently not a great contract. I'm sure Gap was hip to what already happened with Adidas
Yeah.
to think they could treat him the same way, And so
Yeah.
I feel like he's right in a sense of like, oh, I gotta get a better deal, get me out of these things.
Yeah.
But I also think that his idea of his power, like I said, he's a genius. His idea of how much power he has
Mhm.
might be inflated. But we have to see because we thought it was inflated before, and then he went #1 with Donda, and then
Yeah.
Adidas, and we're like, he
Yeah,
thinks
yeah.
too much of himself. So maybe he's right again. But I think that's what it is, that he's an inflated version of his power compared to all these companies.
Yeah, that's fair. My last point with this, the president's thing, I have to bring this up one last
Oh,
time.
2024.
No, sorry. Precedents.
Oh, precedent. Okay.
Not president. I don't. Yeah. So when it comes to that, we've never had an artist at this point. So we've had athletes that want to get out of contracts. What
Mhm.
do? They bitch. They complain.
Sit
They
out,
request for
yeah.
trades. You know what I mean? But we never had an artist get to this point. So what is the precedence for this? What would the president do?
That that's why I think it's gonna be pretty crazy because I don't think you could do this again. Like, 2 years from now, Metro Boomin wants to leave Universal.
Yeah.
I don't think Metro Boomin's gonna go out and
and cause a ruckus.
Yeah, to get out. You know, like clearly it works.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. I feel like there is a certain level of like allowance in terms of certain issues that it's like what gets you canceled. Like I've always said, Black people are too low on the totem pole in terms of how we deal with like people talking about us. The Jews, the letters, and you mess with any of those people, out of here. Out. Look at the baby. Out of here.
Yeah.
You mess with us, it's a 50-50 shot.
And you would think, okay, you may have you just brought up two options of the letter people, Jewish people. If we're a Black person under one of those letter categories, we're even lower than regular Black people that aren't under the. I don't want to say regular. Fuck, man, these guys got me. These guys got me fucked up.
You already called them letters too.
Crazy. You said it. You started it. Eh? I was following this guy. Don't cancel us. But yeah, if you are one of those categories and you are Black, you're a Black Jewish person, which there are Black Jewish people out there. You're even lower than the Black people that aren't Jewish or the Black people that aren't like a subculture of another thing. So it's fucked up.
Yeah,
It's tough to be Black.
I think it's listen. I think we're right on topic here. We're talking about being canceled. This person who I want to talk about next was not canceled. And again, this is I'm saying what it takes for you to be canceled. I think we were all saying, oh, you cancel for anything, cancel for anything. I don't think that's true. I think there's a certain group of people that will actually cancel you. Tom Brady, remember he was supporting Trump. He was had a couple times.
Yeah.
He was a big time Republican. I know a lot of Black people who are still Tom Brady fans. Like, you know, it's almost like it didn't happen. What gets you canceled? Who's to say? But I want to wish him the best because he's going through some tough times on the field and off the field.
Yeah, Buccaneers aren't playing too well.
Yeah, him and Giselle getting divorced finally. I thought, did you know
Finally?
that? Finally. Well, it's been talked about for a long time,
It's
but
been talked about for some time. I think the last straw was after the last season.
that's when he knew he had to divorce her.
No, that's probably when she's like, yo, like, are you staying home or you're not staying home?
Yeah.
And then he didn't go to training camp because he said there was some backlog shit. Do you watch football, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he didn't go to training camp because he said there's some shit going on that he doesn't want to talk about. So it probably is with his ex-wife. And then, yeah, a couple games into the season, she said, nope, fuck this. So it leads me to truly believe that she gave him multiple options and he just loved football. I think he signed a deal with Fox even after he retires. Like, the man just doesn't want to be home, yeah?
Yeah.
That I thought about that because he said, like, remember he retired for like 45 seconds?
Yeah.
And then came back. And even before the championship season, he was saying, like, I could play for who knows, like, you know, 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was like he knew that him and Giselle weren't great or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, I ain't got nothing to go home to.
Those are moves from Amanda hates home.
Yeah, he's like, I'll play. Like, I ain't got nothing to go home to.
Because we've never seen a QB play though. He's what, 45 now, right?
Yeah, mid-40s.
We'd never seen a QB play this long, right? Yeah, given he got a chip 2 years ago and everything, but like at the same time, like, bro, you can retire. You can take it easy.
Yeah, think about
like,
how many footballs he's thrown. Like his arm's gotta be like.
You know what I mean? Like spaghetti. Well, his arm is like spaghetti right now.
Yeah, right now.
These guys are playing like shit. But yeah, a lot of people kind of turn to the fact that, oh, why would Giselle leave him? Giselle, like, this guy is so rich. Yo, Giselle's fucking rich too, bro.
She's richer than
I
him.
think she's richer than
Yeah, she's richer than him.
Yeah, so you can't even put money into like your category when you're trying to talk about these two. It's like, yo, if you're with somebody and they have constantly shown you that they do not want to be home.
Come on. Yeah, you're looking at it right. I think you have it the right way. Like, they're people, they're humans. If you're dating someone and they're doing everything in their power to not be home, not be around, like, how you can feel about that?
Think of many times she probably promised her, yo, that next season's the last season. Next season's the last season. And it's like, yeah, you can only deal with it so much. You know what I mean? I would hate that. Like, what if I was dating, I don't know, Ari Lennox or something, and she's like, yo, I'm going on tour, but this tour is the last tour. You say that to me 3 times, like, I'm gonna drop you and move on.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this is for Tom, because Tom has always been very clean cut, very media trained. His answers, he's not, getting political. He's keeping it G.
Yeah.
A divorced man does different things,
In
like
Florida.
In Florida too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A divorced man in Florida, anything is possible. So I'm excited. I hope Tom breaks out the shell a little bit. We start getting cussing Tom. I'm excited to see.
Start hanging out with AB again.
Yo, that'd be sick.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just feel like not shackled, but he's just been so clean cut for so long, especially when he's the GOAT that he has the leeway to be, more than that if he wants. Kind of like LeBron. Like, LeBron a couple years ago started wearing do-rags to every press conference, started cussing on the shot more. And you're like, okay, LeBron he knows he's cozy now. Yeah, Brady is there. Brady can get comfortable. Like, you're not losing your spot. You're good. Like,
Yeah, facts.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I feel like the era we're into like plays more into that, Like people don't want to see some polished person up there just like on their P's and Q's. Well, I don't at least. Like that's why I like this kind of media,
Yeah.
I want to hear somebody who's gonna talk like I'm gonna talk like,
Yeah.
just not worrying about like, saying the right things and making sure they look good on television and the sponsors. Like, I guess you have to a certain point, but like
that's why I rate niggas like Anthony Edwards, bro, and
real
some like real athletes. That
Dame,
Dame. They just say like real nigga shit, bro. I don't like the polished up, coming in, showing me that you're this and you're really not this, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and I think too, like, I feel like those dudes who are not polished are always going to be like your favorite player. Like, Ja Morant is like that.
Ja Morant's
like, Ja is like that. You know what I thought? I thought that Ben Simmons, when he came back, he would be more like that. But I have a theory. I think that's coming from Ben Simmons. I think that there's going to be like a different version of him once he gets more comfortable.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I don't care.
I heard before he got signed, before he got his rookie deal and whatever, I heard he was a bit of an asshole. Like he had that in him, like he was cocky, he was talking mad shit, and then the Philly fans just drained that out of him.
No, they did, because even who was it? D-Lo was telling a story about in high school because they're on the same team and they didn't know who Ben was because he's from Australia. Obviously, they're like, yo, who's this? So he came in and they thought he was going to be like their new backup center or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they see this dude crossing over, dunking, whatever, talking mad grease.
Yeah.
So it seemed like he had that dog in him before, like you said. And
now when you watch him, he looks like a scared pup, bro. He doesn't want to score. He doesn't look at the rim. It's sad, bro.
Did you see what Kyrie said about they got to leave him alone?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. I feel like the media, and not just for basketball, but I'm seeing it especially because I love basketball. I love watching the NBA. They push these storylines on us, bro, like to a ridiculous degree because they have nothing else to talk about. Like Lakers now, I think they're 0-4 or 0-5. Everything's Russell Westbrook, bro. Russ this, Russ can't do that. Russ. And I'm like, yo, bro, AD's shooting like 18% from three,
like,
bro.
Come on. Beverly turned the ball over every second.
Why aren't people blaming Pelinka? Pelinka's the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers, if you guys don't know. He just got an extension. Look at the rosters he's put out in the last 2 years, bro.
Yeah, I think that it's like the media chooses a person or chooses a narrative
to go at,
and they just stick with it no matter what. And I think it's two things. One, I think there's a lot of people writing about basketball, talking about basketball, who don't really play basketball or never played basketball.
That's an issue.
You know, even like none of us played in the league, but even like me playing on teams and playing ball in high school and even a little bit in college, like I could know the dynamics of a team to be like, I'm sure that no one's pissed at Russ all the time, you know, because he seems like a great teammate. He's trying hard. If you're on a team and there's a dude who tries harder than everyone else, no one's gonna blame him for everything. You have to
respect it. You just gotta put that person in the right role. So you have to blame the general manager to an extent, coaching to an extent, because you guys aren't putting this person that's putting out so much effort in the right position, so their effort can be actually realized into a positive product. Instead, man's keep throwing him out there in the starting lineup. He's putting up shots, and then the guard next to him, Patrick Beverly, can't shoot for shit either.
Can't do nothing.
And then it's like, you can't have a lineup where LeBron James is your best shooter, bro.
That just can't work.
Let's be real.
That's an automatic no. And I feel like the way the media is treating it is like, I get it. You want to follow up these stories. He has a bad game, whatever it is. Same with Ben Simmons. But I think that the way they're phrasing it is like this one person is to blame. And I feel like anyone who hoops knows that's not the case. Any game you lose or any game you win is not just because of one person. Yeah, even if someone drops 50, you needed every rebound from so-and-so, every whatever. And it's like, this happened years ago. Do you remember that Cavs team with LeBron and Kyrie and K-Love? Yeah. And that narrative that because of K-Love, their defense was going to be ruined. Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, how is K-Love going to ruin the entire defense?
They always do this.
How was that? You know, but that was like the narrative of like, can he play? Will he sit? Whatever it is. And I'm like, K-Love was an all NBA player. Like, always
think it's a
closing
product
games.
of LeBron James teams.
Mm.
The media always is gonna take one person and try to shit on them. Like they took Kevin Love, like you said, they took Chris Bosh at a time. They
Yeah.
took Chris Bosh and talked shit about him. They talk shit about Mo Williams in the first Cleveland run. Now it's Russ. Then they're shitting on AD right before Russ came too.
You're not a LeBron fan.
I'm not a big LeBron guy like that. I did love his second stint in Cleveland.
Yeah, that was my favorite LeBron stint.
Then
too.
I was like, yo, like this guy's
He's
that
real,
nigga, bro.
yeah.
But I respect LeBron, but I'm not really like LeBron was never like, yo, he's my favorite player or anything like that. But I super respect him.
I didn't remember you being a LeBron fan like that, but I think you can understand this. The LeBron fans, they will diss every player on the team to make LeBron sound good.
100%.
And I think it's like a LeBron fan way of thinking that everyone's adopted. I'm like this. You don't gotta bat up Steve Kerr to say Michael Jordan was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, you could just say Michael Jordan was good and leave it at that. You know, LeBron fans, it's like it has to be AD struggling, whatever. And it's like that could be true, but that doesn't help LeBron's case of being good. He needs them to be good for it to make sense. So now I feel like these narratives are crazy. I was a big Ben Simmons guy. I thought that he had a lot of potential.
And he still does.
I think out of all the like big guard players who are like 6'9", 6'10", other than Tatum, I would say Ben Simmons has the best handle out of all of them. If you include Giannis, KD, whoever. And so I'm like, with that handle, I feel like there's a lot for him to do with it and grow, because you see the stuff that even Giannis does with his ability to dribble. Like, you know, someone like Ben Simmons who's like legitimately almost 7 feet and actually dribbles like a guard. But this season he's been disappointing. So I don't think he deserves the hate he's getting, but I understand it. He's been disappointing.
Yeah, and he's been out for 2 years. If I take you from your profession for 2 years that you've been really good at and you've been thriving at, and make you sit at home and not do shit, not touch a podcast mic, not touch a camera or anything, and then you come back, shit's gonna be new to you, bro. Chris, if I take you away from this room right now for 2 years and you come back, the podcast's gonna sound like ass, bro.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be a struggle for sure.
So yeah, people gotta give him a little bit of a chance and give him some patience for sure.
Yeah. Nah, I like that you brought that up, because I feel like this is gonna be an ongoing thing in the season. So happy we got, our thoughts on it from now. What else have you been watching other than basketball?
Other than ball. I've been on my TV show grind. If you guys don't have Crave, get Crave. It's actually super fucking underrated.
Best streaming service.
Yeah. So I was watching House of Dragon. House of Dragon's been.
I'm still behind.
Yeah. It's top tier television for sure. When you catch up, definitely link me. Let me know what's good.
We got to do a talk.
But
about
yeah,
that.
I need suggestions from the people. I need suggestions. Sometimes I find that people are watching things that I do not want to watch. I like high level,
the best
television. You know what I mean? So please, if any of you guys have suggestions, let me know.
I'll tell you what I have in my docket right now. I just finished Atlanta, the latest season.
I'm halfway through that season. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, just finished Atlanta. I think Atlanta is like the second coming of the Chappelle Show in a sense, even in a whole different way. Like Atlanta, I think is really underrated. I'm catching up on Snowfall. I know you're up on Snowfall.
No.
Oh, you're not on Snowfall?
I never watched an episode of Snowfall.
Snowfall,
before.
I think you should get it into. Snowfall is really good.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Snowfall is we don't have a show. I would say we are black people. We don't have a show like that. That is about like drugs and the drug game and that gang shit. But coming from that era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
We have plenty.
I'm like, we have too many right now.
We have plenty. But yeah, coming from that era. Like, you see like literally the start of everything. Like,
this is what, 70s?
Yeah, 70s going into the 80s. So you see it.
Okay.
You see it from the government bringing it in to like them even finding out what crack is.
I was gonna say BMF, but I think BMF is like 80s to 90s.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
so.
BMF is like more. It's like kind of in the middle of it already.
Yeah.
In Snowfall, you see like them being like, oh, this is different from this.
Yeah. Okay, that's different for sure.
Yeah. And then I think the last one that I would add is Succession.
I keep hearing about Succession.
Yeah, Succession. I was kind of iffy on it at first. I thought it was a bit slow. But the last couple seasons picked up. The new season I think starts January, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it's I think it's gonna be like Game of Thrones level of like taking over the internet when that season comes out. So
yeah,
to avoid spoilers, hop on now. But it's a show about billionaires. I love watching shows about people with money.
Yeah, because you're big money, Adriel Smiley. Put the cha-ching, put the cha-ching down.
Nah.
That was satisfying.
I need to relabel these because I was like, okay.
Sticking on TVs and music, guys. I had a nice night out with one of my homies. We ended up going to watch Black Adam.
Oh yes.
Right. So if you guys don't know, Black Adam is this superhero within the DC universe. Kind of powers similar to Superman. He can fly. He has super strength, invulnerability, etc. This man is currently played by The Rock. The Rock really wanted to pursue a role where he had the powers of someone similar to Superman. So I watched the movie. I didn't go into the movie with expectations that this was going to be an Academy Award nominee or anything like that, but I still expected a half decent movie.
Not even half decent.
It was the Tobias Harris of movies to me. Very mid, not garbage, but not great. It gave me a good 15 points, 6 rebounds.
That was a crazy bar. That was a crazy bar.
No disrespect to Tobias Harris, but he's not an all-star.
This guy said the Tobias Harris of movies.
It was the Tobias Harris of movies to me.
That is pretty crazy. Honestly, so at my workplace, which I will not mention, we play a lot of promos for this movie. So I've been seeing a lot of promos, and it just didn't look good to me.
Yeah.
I think out of respect, like the superhero heads, like you kind of had to see it, and see what's up. Even though, listen, I'm not a DC man. I've talked a lot of shit about DC here, but I understand people seeing it. What would you compare it to? Is there like another superhero movie that you can compare it to in terms of quality?
Another superhero movie that I could compare it to? That's a fantastic question. I would probably compare it to, I'm trying to think of something Marvel that's kind of in the mid-ish range. I'll compare it to like a Iron Man 2. Maybe an Iron Man 2. Maybe probably like a Captain America 1-ish, like
so
somewhere.
It's really like
it's
that.
just like, it's just in the middle of the pack. Like it had a sky beam, which all these fucking shit movies have now. It had a CGI army. Of the main character, like the Rock's not gonna like woo you with his acting, bro.
I heard the CGI was inconsistent.
It was very inconsistent. The action scenes were decent. I'm not saying don't watch the movie. Like if you want to just a quick popcorn flicks, go watch it. But for me, it wasn't it like that. I feel like The Rock needs to diversify himself and try to get that one role that stands out. You know how like the action actors that we grew up on, they all have like that one role that was like huge.
Definitive, yeah.
Yeah, like Terminator, John McClane, from Die Hard, Rocky.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Mission Impossible with Cruise. I don't even want to put Cruise and The Rock in the same conversation. But you know what I mean? Jean-Claude Van Damme had his shit, Bloodsport with Bloodsport was Jean-Claude Van Damme. But anyway, I digress. The Rock needs that. He has the talent, he has the money, he has the resources to get that one movie. But if I tell you to tell me one definitive role from The Rock, can you guys do it?
Fast and the Furious. No, I'm just kidding.
That was probably gonna be the answer. Like The Mummy Returns. I you know what? If I don't know if he has the talent to do what you're asking him to do.
For an action movie, I think he can make one definitive action movie.
No, because what it takes for a definitive action movie is like a lot of the chops to carry it the whole way, which he's done a bunch of times. We know Rock facing nature, Rock versus Avalanche,
Rock in the Jungle 4 times.
Everything. But I think that his acting chops aren't on the level of these other guys. And I think that if he was like in a movie where that was the case and he was with a lot of like really good actors, he wouldn't be able to hang.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Chris as well? Is Arnold Schwarzenegger a better actor than The Rock?
That's a good point. I guess not.
So
no,
different time, I guess.
Different time. They're putting out the same types of movies.
I guess you're right. He is in that lane,
and they're kind of similar. Like they're both like super like yoked guys, like just like huge, like kind of like like they're literally figuratively and literally seem like they're larger than life. You know?
You know what? I think you've convinced me.
I give us one Terminator.
Yeah. I think he can if they come at it with that energy. Like Rocky, that whole series is like, what that's for. He's the main character. That's the story we're telling. that's the direction we're taking in. That's the tone of the film. Sometimes when The Rock is battling an earthquake or avalanche,
battling an earthquake.
like, you know, when he be doing that. And when he does that, the tone of the movie is not like him centered, like where it's like a whole thing of like he's trying to save his family or the whole world's falling apart, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe if they take the tone of the movie to make it be like he's the Rocky, so quote unquote.
Yeah, like the underdog, bro.
Yeah.
Every movie that he's in, he's like a marine biologist that just happens to be
Yo,
super
God.
D'd.
Yeah.
Yo, I hate that.
Or, you know what I mean? Or a surgeon that just happens to be big. Like, bro, give me a role where you're
Need
big
some
for
depth.
Yeah,
It makes
give me
sense.
some
Like
depth.
he's like a cop. Make him a cop who's just like a super cop. No, like
True.
Because
like
Like RoboCop
like
or some
RoboCop.
shit.
yeah,
you know?
because in the marine biologist shit it used to piss me off because I'm like, yo, this is not casual, bro.
Yeah.
You're 6'5", 270.
yeah, nobody
like,
was doubts like that.
Yeah, I'm like, a little D's is fine, you know. Like I can show up in a certain room and be the most D's guy. This dude is looking like the most D's person in the town. Like that just doesn't add up. So I think if they center the movie and being like, he's a CIA agent and he's, you know, we built him in a lab and this is, you know,
Yeah,
like,
he's troubled and like, give me something definitive, man, that stands out. And I think right now what it is, it's and Kevin Hart is actually a victim of this as well, and Adam Sandler to an extent. It's quantity over quality. Like, there's a point where Kevin Hart is just dropping fucking movies like flies, bro.
yeah.
Like 2 movies a year and shit, and the quality is just not there. And I feel like The Rock in the last 10 years has just been dropping projects and going project to project that all the characters just start
He's
to
kind of
blend
slowed
in.
down a bit in the last couple of years.
He has slowed down a bit. I agree with that.
But you're right. He's definitely been a hoe.
And this is the most energy and time I've seen him put into promotion of a project. So it showed me that he did care about this project. So I'm not knocking that. And the movie's not complete garbage. There is an audience out there for it. The audience is not me.
I think what you said about that definitive role fits Black Adam in a sense because for a lot of people, that definitive role is a series. Like Jennifer Lawrence has accomplished great things, but Hunger Games will probably always be her highest
Her
grossing,
magnum opus
her
type of thing,
highest grossing movie. Same with Robert Downey Jr. He's done some great things outside of that, but Iron Man: The Avengers will always
That's
be what
iconic.
he's most known for. And so I feel like even Captain America, like all these people, when you get in a series or something like that, that is like solidified. Like everyone will know you for that. You can do anything else outside of that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's his hope is Black Adam will be that thing for him.
I hope
Because
so.
I was gonna suggest like he should do a series that's like centered around him. You know, he's the main character.
He should.
Because Fast and Furious, that's not a bad answer. Because when he joined that like group, he took them to another level.
He did take him to another level, but that's not his movie.
Yeah. It's not him.
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying with the series.
Yeah, and for Fast and Furious, I already felt like at that point it was already like too much. Like, are you guys big Fast and Furious fans? Like,
I
No,
like it, but I'm not like.
Are there big Fast and Furious
I don't
fans?
know.
Like niggas
there
with
are.
posters on their wall?
Yeah, no, there are.
let's
There
just
are.
have like freaking Vin Diesel, The Rock on their wall. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Because you know what's funny when you watch, you should like please if you have the time, someone watch any of those back that have The Rock in it. The acting in those movies is not great
No,
outside of The Rock. Like if you look at the cast, it's like Vin Diesel, Tyrese, Luda.
It used
like,
to be about racing cars. Now they're like,
But
you
I can
know,
also
around the
argue.
world.
I can also argue since the addition of The Rock, the
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
the quality and writing of the movies. Not that say the earlier ones were great,
yeah.
but it definitely went to a weird level. Like it went to a
Yeah.
sci-fi-ish level. Like
It changed.
out of
Turned
this
into
world.
wrestling, you know?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's what I was gonna say is like Vin Diesel is whispering the whole movie, just quotes. It's either like we're doing it for the fam,
We're doing it for the fans.
That's everything. And then The Rock has this like 18 one-liners,
Yeah.
Yep.
and so it's like that movie can be entertaining and like kind of bubblegum ish, but that's not gonna be a definitive role where you're like, you know, there's that scene where like there's no scene where he's like crying or having a monologue, like you know what I mean. Those even in an action movie, there are gonna be those scenes where you're like, I remember this scene was emotionally charged, and like
Yeah.
Rocky was upset and I felt upset. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Now it's just a meme movie. Like the movie's a meme.
Yeah. So I think that's a great point. But The Rock, I feel like he's one of those actors where he's probably the most famous actor in the world at any given time. I would
He's up
say.
there, man.
Yeah,
And
and-
he's done a lot for himself. I can't.
Any
knock
given
that.
time. But I feel like about having that definitive role and having the like acclaim from his peers, he's really, really missing that. Really, really missing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the first thing I asked was, can you guys name me a role that Rock was great at? The first answer I heard was Fast and Furious.
Fast and
Like
Furious is not bad.
that's a telling sign though.
Yeah, it's super not his movie. Like, they did 5 movies without him. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like I feel like he can do it, but I think the chances of it are super low. I just think it's like I feel like that role was there for him already. If that was gonna happen, they would have said fight an earthquake every 2 years. You know, if that was there for him. Because Jumanji's next to the other one, actually. Jumanji is probably the other one that's probably close. But Jumanji is not centered around just him.
Nah, Kevin Hart, Jack Black.
Yeah, a Jumanji type movie, I think, though. Because I think he is part of that, like, comedy action mix. Like Robert Downey Jr. was. So I think that if there's a movie that's centered around comedy and action together, but he's the main character, because it's like, The Rock can be funny and, you know, he's a great talker. But if you're in a movie with Jack Black and Kevin Hart, you're not the funniest dude in the movie.
No.
So,
do you think like his character is just too big for movies now? It's like he's just The Rock. Like it's almost like his persona and presence like takes away from the acting, takes away from the storyline because you're like, oh shit, it's The Rock. Like,
that's why I think Ralph is so right.
So the only thing that can save that, and Adriel made a good mention of that, is doing a series now. That's the only thing that can save that. If you do a television series, like a 6-episode series where we have to take you seriously, that will then take us away and deject us from saying, yo, like this guy's just The Rock. Yeah. Because Kevin Hart did the same shit, dog. He did the little series with Wesley Snipes and people started looking at him a little different. He did the movie with Bryan Cranston when he was his caregiver.
Yeah, that was one of them too.
So at least Kevin Hart's attempting here and there to do it. But yeah, I just expect a little bit more.
I think that Chris is right about like he's too much of a big star. That I think the superhero route is the only way. Because he's basically a superhero in real life. That it's not enough deviation.
That's a good point.
It's like Will Smith sometimes. I said this before, like some movies they put Will Smith in and I'm like, you can't just give him an accent. I think I don't know that's Will Smith. You know, like it's like you can't
Concussion?
Again, the new Slave movie, like you can't do that. Same with The Rock. Just keep put him in a button-up shirt doesn't mean I don't know who that is. I know what The Rock is cooking. Like, so it's like you could try that, but it's like
what The Rock is cooking.
There's just no way. There's no outfit you could put on him, no disguise, where it's gonna be like I don't know who that is. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So you might as well put him in a role that is like fits The Rock with what you think of him outside of, you know. And he's still charismatic. He's still funny. He's D's for a reason. Like,
yeah. I think that's the first Rock movie that I paid to watch, and it might be the last.
Which one?
Black Adam? Yeah, I think it was one of the first. Yeah, it probably is the first Rock movie that I paid to watch, like where it was him as the lead role. Yeah, I won't count. Fast and Furious 5 I paid to watch, but yeah, like his other movies I never paid to watch.
Yeah,
that was a big deep dive on The Rock.
Yeah.
A
lot of time with The Rock.
Yeah.
I got a bun to pick with you before we get to our non-raps just another week.
Let's pop in.
Tory Lanez, No More Parties in LA.
Yeah.
I listened to the song.
You weren't fucking with it?
No, it's a rap song.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You know what? It was on an R&B album, and it was my favorite song, so I
listened to it, and I was like, this bumps, but I bumped the whole track, liked it, and then I was like, woo!
I was being lazy.
So definitely a rap song. So
that was last episode I said that?
Yeah. So I think next week you owe us 2 submissions.
2? All right, I got you guys.
Because that one was definitely a rap song.
For sure. I actually don't have a creator showcase today too, so I'm just being lazy all around.
But
what I did want was the creator showcase. I'll keep it for a surprise. Let's do non-rap suggestions for the people really quick. So this is actually an R&B song.
Yes.
So TikTok actually put me on this song again.
Of course.
It's called How Deep. It's by Ty Verdes. Hopefully I pronounced his name properly, but he dropped a album this year and it's been pretty good. So I listened to the original song How Deep. He was playing it acoustic, like there was no, is it acoustic? No beat, nothing?
Yeah,
or acapella. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. He's playing acapella at a concert and I was like, yo, the lyrics are hard. So then I started listening to it and then I listened to the album and he's good. And this is an R&B song, so you can like it and not get mad at me.
Don't kill me. Nah, Ty Verdes, you all get Ty, so likely you chose that one. I got something to tell you about that after you get off this call. Mine, this song, I think I wanted to choose a lot of different songs from this group. But I said, let me choose a song that people probably definitely don't know and is like, more of a different vibe. Static Space Lover, Foster the People. This is like a song you frolic to. You want to get some frolicking done?
I haven't frolicked in a while.
Yeah, this is a song that you frolic to. This is just like a really, upbeat kind of euphoric type of sound. So, if you ever, want some good vibes in your life, Static Space Lover, Foster the People.
Okay. Let me add that right now.
Chris, you have an actual rap song or an actual non-rap song?
Oh man, man's are going at me today. Eh?
Yeah, I was trying to think off my head. All week I've been mostly listening to. Actually, I was bumping a bunch of Chris Travis yesterday. I don't know why.
Chris Travis. Who's Chris Travis?
Oh shoot, no Chris Travis. He's
Never
like, I
heard
think
of
he's
him.
from like Memphis. Seshwala. What the hell? He was with this group, Seshwala Water Boys at one point.
Mm.
Oh.
Nah, I never seen
Yeah,
this
but
guy.
I've been like just bumping
It's a little scary.
a bunch of different stuff. But so my non-rap would be M.O.P, Happy, Succubus, I think it's called. I don't know how to pronounce
Succubus?
it. It's like Succubus. I think they're from like Australia or something. They're kind of like this, they're a rock band of sorts.
Okay, all right, we're switching it up. See, this is why we had to add Chris to the podcast because none of us would have picked that song before
Definitely not.
before Chris's inclusion.
Oh,
in
I
this
see it here
podcast.
now. The Mob Happy. I found. There we go.
I'll play for you after.
Okay. Wow. So we banged out episode 24.
Boom.
We've been potting for 1 year. You thought you guys thought we were gonna do something crazy and have birthday hats and cake and all that
Don't
shit.
kill me.
Have the
Nah.
big 100. Oh wait, no. How's
The big 1 year.
365 again
Imagine,
balloons?
at the rate we go is gonna be a long time before 100, man. We're gonna all look different. It's gonna be grazing my beard for sure.
Facts.
I'll probably have my kid come to that episode.
Yeah, your kid will be running the board at that
Yeah.
point.
I'm screaming.
We'll finally put Chris on camera. The people have been actually asking what Chris looks like. I had one of my friends saying, "Yo, I can't tell if this guy's white or black. I don't know what he is."
Very racially ambiguous.
Yeah, so come to the podcast. When you guys donate on Patreon, we'll put the camera on Chris.
The
and-
face reveal.
There we
Once you hit a certain dollar amount.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
sign the deal and then we'll put Chris on camera.
Yeah,
But
you guys think gender reveal party is cool? What about a face reveal
a
party?
racial reveal?
A race reveal?
A race reveal? How do you have a racially ambiguous voice?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I always thought it sounded pretty much the same.
Yeah, but if someone that has no inclination of how you look, you could sound a little, you
I
could
like
sound
that. I
different.
feel mysterious now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually had job interviews where they
Mm.
talk to me on the phone and like you read Ralph, right? My
Mhm.
last name's Wanplo. You don't know where that generates from because there's
Yeah.
no like history of that last
Mhm.
name. So you read Ralph initially, and then you talk to me on the phone or something like that, and I'm like, yeah. So you see me and you're like, how the fuck did this Negro slip through the cracks?
Yeah, well, Ralph's work voice is on point.
Nah,
One of the
my
best.
work voice is good. Yeah,
One of the
yeah, I
best.
feel like I have a good work voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my personal work experience has been like that. So
I hate
maybe
work
that's
voices.
where I'm at.
I hate work voices. I just had to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like it.
I think they call it code switching now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do a really good job of that because I'm always wary of if I fuck up as a black person, it's gonna be
Mhm.
inflated to a 10th degree as
Mhm.
opposed to like somebody that's not black fucking
Mhm.
up or not a minority fucking up.
For sure.
So I'm always like, okay, I gotta be prim and proper.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But then I also feel like when you code switch, you're kind of like buoying yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're like moving like a house nigga. Like,
Yeah, I know you are. You are.
You gotta be you, in life. You gotta be you, man.
But yo, some of these corporations they don't want you
fuck
to be
them.
you.
Yeah.
Hey,
then we don't support them.
Hey, I just saw Toronto rent went up 20%, so we can't say fuck them to all of them, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right.
We can't afford to.
We can't afford to, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's life. That's episode 24. How you feeling?
I just want everyone to make sure they follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Like, we are posting new videos all the
Constantly.
time. If you are like a podcast listener, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, get your ass to YouTube, okay? There's no reason for our beards to be looking this full for you to not be watching. So get your ass to YouTube, watch the videos. Make sure you subscribe to us, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Every listen to podcast, subscribe. You made it all the way to the end. Do yourself a favor, get your life together, subscribe to us. Leave us a rating and a review. 5 stars, not a single star less. If you got 4.5 stars, keep them to yourself.
Keep that shit to yourself.
5 stars here. Anything else we want to let the people know that we got coming up?
Oh shit. Yeah, a couple things that we got coming up actually before we cut this pod. But the Creator Showcase, Chris, I need you to talk about your podcast for the people.
Who, me?
Yeah, your new podcast.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah, yo, the Let Me Say It podcast, little interview series I'm doing. You know, honestly, just doing this with you guys kind of got me like, I always wanted to get back on a pod and kind of do something. I'm like, I got the space and I want to use like, you know, clips to like, I'm not good at doing clips and like social media stuff, but no, it's fun. It's kind of fun to, you know, get in and talk with different people. So yeah, it's the Let Me Say It podcast. Just interviewing different people, but I want to keep it like less, you know, structured interview, more of a hang. So like I try to get the guests in before we kick it for a little bit. Kind of, I want to talk to them before, so they kind of have that rapport breakdown, and then like kind of like what you would kind of do, the way you kind of like to do, where it's like kind of a casual start at some point.
Yeah.
So it's like people are comfortable. Like I like when they're like, oh, if we start, I'm like, oh, we're rolling, and then like I kind of do a polished intro.
Okay.
But like, yeah, just trying to keep it like you're hanging out with the boys, like just have, or girls, because I'm gonna interview everybody. But like, yeah, I just want to be more of a hang. So I got next week, I think we're dropping the Mellow Honey interview. I got a couple interviews. I got the Mellow Honey, Vintage 905 clothing store. I have this reggae DJ, and I have this other, he's a reggae DJ as well, and a rapper, and he's also an author.
Okay.
So he wears many hats. So I'm looking forward to putting those out. And they were like long conversations. Like one of them was like a 3-hour podcast. And I was just like running through his whole, like from like when he was like when he started to like all sorts of stuff. But casual conversation and let the guests talk.
Okay, that's what's up.
Is this the first podcast as our Creator Showcase?
This is the first podcast as our Creator Showcase.
Okay.
Yes.
Making history.
Yes. So shout outs to Chris's upcoming podcast. I need you guys to listen. He puts in a lot of energy, a lot of time into his craft, and this is new. This is something he wants to work on and grow. So you guys check that out. Hopefully we can be guests on the pod one day.
Absolutely. Like that's the thing, is like I want to like, yeah, definitely. Like we could probably set those up soon now, even like one-on-one though, so we can kind of go through each of your own stories.
Oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
You know?
I don't have 3 hours of things to talk about.
But
I can give you a good 20 minutes.
Appreciate that. Appreciate. Yo, the other idea I had is I wanted to like go hit like a food spot before with them and like kind of like break bread, have a meal together.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Because then it kind of sets
chill.
the tone.
Yeah. More relaxed.
Not recorded?
Yeah, record like just
Recorded,
for B-roll,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
have
that's
have
hard.
like a little just like, and then event, you know, maybe if it goes somewhere, like get like link it with like sponsorships and shit like that, and promote local businesses and stuff.
For sure.
But like, I figured that might be a cool way of just like, you know, when you eat with somebody, you kind of like, you know,
you're chill, you're relaxed,
a little more relaxed, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that might be a good start. We didn't do that. We actually ate after on one of them.
Yeah.
But you know,
Okay.
That's
cool.
coming. That's
what's
coming.
up. And in terms of new things for me and I guess the podcast, like I went to an event recently, opened my eyes for some things. I talked to Adriel about it. We're gonna work on eventually doing a live podcast for you guys. We'll talk about it a little bit later in the year. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Adriel are gonna sit down, talk, so we can give you guys a better growing product every other week.
But we're gonna be in the same room with the people at some point soon. We'll let you know when that's gonna be, but we will be doing something live for all y'all. So right, excited for that. And last but not least, canceling, bring back bullying, know yourself, know your worth.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else you can play podcasts.